What could happen in 2025 that people might not want to hear when it comes to the markets?
That the back half could be, I wouldn't say disastrous, but I think the back half, maybe August, September, could be really rough. And that the gains that we're seeing from the post Trump win probably will not stay through all of 2025. Whenever, I've always said it, whenever financial and investment advice is at the forefront of Sports Center, that's when I get worried. I saw people who never talked about crypto start talking about Bitcoin and XRP. I'm like, didn't you used to manage OnlyFans models or something 2 years ago? Like, wait, what? You an XRP xenophyte or whatever you call them? Like, oh, okay, cool. Getting kind of toppy, no pun intended. Okay. So the second half of the year, it may be a little bit of trouble. And I think that AI run starts to cool off. That battle between Sam and Elon, and maybe we'll talk about it on Blackout, but rest in peace to that gentleman who died of suicide, who whistleblowed on OpenAI. Very telling. Very telling. That battle, Elon's wrong about a lot of things. How that was taken from him, Sam, you got to go kiss that ring too. I know you know.
He did.
You feeling yourself too?
Yeah.
But if you make enemies with me, and then I'm right-hand man with the president, oh, I'm gonna stall the shit out your IPO.
He was the latest to say that he was going to donate $1 million. So he did that.
You better go donate 25 million.
I think both points that you made are 100% true. I think it's interesting as we approach a rate cut this week potentially with Jerome Powell. Yeah. When you look out for the forecast of 2025, there's not a cut in sight.
That's scary.
There's not a cut in sight. And so when we've been talking about lowering inflation and lowering interest rates, there's no sign of that in 2025, which was something that we kind of were looking for and pricing in 2024. We thought the first half of the year there would be 6, and then maybe there's another. So we had some in 2024, and obviously that held. There's no sign of that in 2025, and there's no sign that to say, hey, what if inflation rises again? Then what?
Which I think it will. The cost of everything is higher. And take the feelings out of it, like people can't afford as much. Yeah,
right.
People can't afford as much.
Yeah, they asked the president-elect about that. What about the price of eggs coming down? He said, I don't think it will. That's not really how it works. Things just don't come down because we want to. As soon as people raise prices and people start paying them, they usually keep those prices.
And that's for everything. Rent, cars. I mean, even looking at the average car, like I saw a report that the average car price in 3 years could be $1,100. I was like, what the fuck? For a non-luxury car? What? How is that sustainable? That is incredibly high. Like, even seeing all the tech billionaires and multimillionaires go grovel because they have to, that's scary to me.
What do you think happens there? Now I'm thinking about it, right? Like, as far as the EV market, they took out the incentives to have EVs. The inaugural team that's coming in is not really big on EVs. But Elon has Tesla. How do you think that plays out?
I'll be big on Tesla because Tesla's a technology company, not just solely EV. That classification thing, right? That matters a hell of a lot. But it goes back. I keep saying it. The power relationship, like even making my next 5-year plan, right? A lot of people like, oh, okay, what are you going to do next? And they're thinking linear instead of exponential. But looking at what Kanye did and the leaps in from music to fashion to tech, Elon did the same thing. He just had a cleaner path. And I think you have to look at companies that are not doing traditional things to continue to have an edge. Because if you just focused on one, if Elon just solely focused on being a car maker in the EV space, it could be disaster for him if he didn't have Trump. Mm-hmm. Even in that, like going back to the work ethic part, Rashad was alluding to and having the right person. It takes time to build these companies, but if he's building all those, and Elon's like, I was listening to was it Mark Benioff? No, I think Reid Hoffman. And they were saying he's still going to every company every week with all the lead people and saying what's the number one problem, and he's trying to fix it. That's not because he's bored. Like, they know something is coming or could happen that we're not aware of. Like, Elon's working as if he's back broke and he just got into Silicon Valley while other people are chilling. Like, you have to look at that.
It makes sense. I mean, you think about, I don't know, it was kind of in the show notes, is like, now, if you look at all the spaces, one of the ones he's not in is telecommunications, which is why the partnership with T-Mobile kind of makes sense, right?
Yes.
Now, it looks on the surface, let me try to solve the world's problems. Like, what are the problems that the world, right? Like, so like, let's eradicate dead zones for cell service. Well, how do I do that? Well, I got satellites in space, and if I get a carrier that can partner with me, then we can do that. So from that standpoint, the interesting part will be I think they have a 1-year exclusive deal with them.
Yeah.
But after that deal's up, you could see, like, if this works out right, now you got the data of maybe Verizon. You get the major carriers in there with you. Now you're talking about data the way that I was kind of alluding to what Zuckerberg has. Because, people use that app, but they use it on a device. And if I can get everybody who has a device,
And then what's the average age of the Nigerian population? Got to be under 25.
I think it's like 30 or 31.
That's like 18, I think.
Is it? That's cool.
So let's say it's just sub 26.
Yeah.
That's a whole. Okay. So now if you have partnerships here that work and then you bring them to Africa, because I think maybe in 10, 15 years, I mean, they're already setting up there because that's the next gold rush. Hell, they'll subsidize and give everybody phones in Africa through Starlink.
It's 18. It's 18.
Bro, you got 35, 40 years of runway. Then they'll ask y'all, where y'all going to Ghana and build a house? What? Everybody's going. The NFL's there.
The average age of the continent, the entire.
That's crazy.
20.
They haven't even got close to a financial uptick yet, let alone a prime.
That's crazy.
What?
That's crazy.
Don't be surprised. Like, if they bring out the old idea that Chamath had and give everybody a phone on the continent, or like,
now
these are major tech wars that are being played.
Yeah. And the opportunity is there. Like, when you go to most people have like a cell phone, or I mean, that's the way they communicate. It's also the way they bank. It's also the way they trade.
The super colonizer play.
Let me give you all cell phones. Track your data for the rest of your life.
For real.
Here, use these satellites. They're free.